Okay. I've watched a lot of videos since our day one, the day sold videos. I've seen frustrating how-to videos. I've seen videos where it's like the guy's talking too much, like I'm doing right now. So I'm going to do my best when I'm doing that videos, when I'm working on the car, is just to give you the nitty-gritty. All right, Will, shut up, get to the point. All right. Front brakes grabbing. Took off the caliper. I'll show you real quick how I did that. Here you go. Caliper's real easy. 2 bolts right back here and back there. There's the 2 bolts laying right there. There's the caliper right there. Once you take those 2 bolts off, the furthest out bolts, they go right in here, right there, and on the other side. You then pry it away. Hopefully you don't have to pry it away. I had to because these pistons are tight. I believe they came with a single piston caliper in 2000 on a V6. Looks like somebody replaced these during the life of the car. I think the springs are going to have to go. I think the struts are going to have to go. I want to clean this up, but is it necessary right now in this car? No, not at the moment. I am going to now compress those pistons. I'm going to use this C-clamp right here, and I am going to compress from here to back here, and I'm going to flatten each one of these out. I put a little bit of WD-40 in them to see if I can loosen them up. They will not let go of their grip. I am hoping they're just rusted in the position they are, so I'm going to hope to loosen them up. I'm going to do this on both sides, right and left. This is the passenger side. And then I'm going to reinstall them. These are the brake pads. As you can see, the brake pads are still good. They don't need to be replaced. The rust, I don't like it, but it is what it is. They always rust unless you paint them with high heat paint when you get them. If you get them and paint high heat paint in here, you can keep them nice and clean looking. These, it looks a little burned, and it sure doesn't, I don't like the way it feels. But again, if I don't have to change them out right now, I'm not going to blow any money. I'm just going to do what I got to do. So here it goes, compressing those. I'll give you a quick shot of that, and then I'm going to go back on, and then we're going to test it. There you go. This is a very quick video, day 2 on a 2000 Mustang. Yes, MustangMedic is back in the saddle again. Ta-da! See, I'm getting quicker, right? Give me some points for that. All right. Now you know what the caliper looks like in a 2000 Mustang after it's been taken off. Here it goes, going back in after the quick shot of compressing the pistons, of course. All right, here's the shot. I got the C-clamp inside the piston, and I'm pinching it. It's fighting like hell. So I think, yeah, it's going in. That's good news. It doesn't need a lot of play, but I'm trying to get pushing it in as much as possible because I want the WD-40 to hopefully saturate the surroundings of the pistons so they can release when I let off the brakes. If not, these calipers are dead. But they look like they look decent, but they're also refurbished. So it's a rebuild. You never know what you get, especially when it's a rebuild. I had to make one other point. Now, this is good news. You can see this piston is in. So it is moving. This means that I'm going to be able to put the brake pads on without issue, and then I'll be able to spin this really ugly rotor when I get it on. Right now, I'm going to hit it with a little bit more WD-40 on here. This is my theory. You guys can tell me how you feel about WD-40, but I don't have any other solution at the moment. So that piston's going in. All good news. Next piston, and then it's going on. I found the problem, and it might be on the other side too. This piston is definitely a problem. This one compressed, you can see all the way in with no issues. This one's going to work fine. This one is not compressing. It is definitely hung up. And I'm hoping that the WD-40 is going to penetrate it, but this piston's a bad piston on the top. I know it. So here's an opportunity, guys. Who wants to send some calipers to MustangMedic, and we'll give you a whole lot of love. If not, we're just going to buy our own, and nobody's going to know who got them. I'm shameless now. I can't help myself. This is a Phoenix from the Ashes story, and you can help. Tell your friends. I'm going to try to push it again. I put a socket in here because I almost couldn't get out the pusher because it was pushing down into the I guess it gets a little more narrow in there. So I put a socket in between, pushed it right down. I'm going to try to do the same thing again on the top piston, but I got to get this one down like that. See? Jammed up. It's jammed up there. I have to say, with this XR technology, this is so much easier to do these videos now because it's so quick. My iPhones were so slow before. I believe that they're even. I mean, you could see more of this. I think the rubber's a little bit more compressed over here than here, the seals. So I'm hoping, I don't have a micrometer to read it, but I believe it's both. They're both done. They're both in. Let's hope that the WD-40 loosens her up and I can save these calipers. We'll find out. But they are, I mean, you can tell they're freshly painted and they're not like barnacles like most of the stuff in this Mustang. Well, not much actually. For 20 years in New Jersey, it's actually fared pretty well. All right, this brake job is trying to get refixed. I'm gonna get on her, I'm gonna drive her hard, and we'll see if the calipers reciprocate. All right, that's one side. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then tires come on. And in this world, video world, here come the tires, and you can just ignore all the rest of the work I did. It's gonna go on just right onto here, like so, just like that. Okay. I want to add one more note because we're kind of like CSI agents when we buy a used car. There's a big nest in here. I plucked it out, got it out. You know, you can look, the caliper's actually starting to look normal again from the outside. When you find nests inside a caliper, the car's sat a long time. Most of you probably know that. But if you find cobwebs in items that get really, really hot, that means this car wasn't used much. And this one was not used much. It was just a secondary car. So it's about to become primary for MustangMedic for a little while until we get that 2020 and then auction it off for MustangMedic Ranch. Okay, enough talking. Put the calipers on, let's test her. All right, calipers back on. This bolt right here and this bolt right here is all that holds that on. This is a floating part. This part floats and then this part is static. So here we go. This, of course, is spinning nicely now because the pistons are wide open. So there's plenty of space right now. Once I hit the brakes, it's gonna clamp back down on again. And I'm hoping that it's going to release. If it doesn't release, calipers are in the future. And the new rotors, of course. If we're gonna do the calipers, might as well do the rotors. Although these look pretty good, but they're not perfectly smooth like I want. Wheels on. And I wanted to show you something that I was thinking about. My father taught me this a long time ago, is you want to seat your rim. So in other words, when you got it up in the air and you're putting the lug nuts on, you want to hand tighten them and you want to move your rim around and then tighten it again. Because what you want to do is you want to seat the rim. If you just go in and just honking down, tighten up one and then go to the other five, believe it or not, you can actually, if it doesn't seat properly, you can have an out of balance tire. And also it won't be secure because it could loosen up and be really bad on the road. So you want to snug them up, move the tire around a little bit. Sorry, I got interrupted by my therapist. He's a great guy, Dave. Anyway, now that it's seated properly, I'm shaking it like this. I'm moving it around. It's not moving. Now I'll snug it up even more so. And then when I get it on the ground, I'll tighten it up. And I am going to do something. It's a no-no. I'm not going to use a torque wrench. I'm going to do it by hand. Use a torque wrench, find out the pounds per square inch on your lug nuts and follow that. I'm doing a little bit of shade tree mechanic stuff right now because of lack of tools. If anybody's got these caps for a 2000 Mustang, I need 3 of them. Send them to MustangMedic, 36 Cobbs Mill Road, Bridgeton, New Jersey, 08302. I know you guys can do this stuff. You did it before. We're going to do it again, MustangMedic style. I don't care. I don't care what they think. I don't care if they think I'm cheap. I want some caps. They're like $10 on eBay. All right, here we go. Snugging it up, putting her on the ground, and then we'll take the test drive after of course, the driver's side's done. I keep saying I'm going to go to the tires on, but I keep finding new things to talk about. These rotors this one's great. This is a good rotor. And right away, once you got a really great rotor, you can see it, see the reflection. I expect this to be fine, but I'm going to still take it apart because I'm here. I really want to just change up both rotors. My sense is I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to start to drive it, and it's going to now pull to the right because the rotor's not, it's beaten up. Gosh darn it. I'm going to try it anyway. If I had a spare $100, I would just buy the rotors right now, but at the moment I don't. So this is going to be fine. I already know it by the condition of this rotor. We'll see. I'm going to drive her hard. Right, these pistons, totally fine. They both compressed in. I'm not sure why it's even braking because of that one piston. The issue is on the passenger side. The piston that's on the top is tight. I'm hoping it's going to get loosened up. I don't have a lot of hope for it. I got a feeling that that's a bad piston in the caliper. So these compressed immediately, no issues. And of course, the rotor looks great. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, the pads are pretty locked up. I'm gonna have to see what's going on there. The pads are fine. I just pulled them out and put them back in. There was no issue. There's the caliper. I'm doing this left-handed for you guys. Lines up right like that. Put those 2 bolts in, and then the tire, and here goes the test drive. I know the passenger side's good. It's all about that one piston. I'm sorry, I know the driver's side's good. It's all about that piston on the passenger side, the upper piston. All right, don't roll your eyes. This is for the beginner. This part, the part that looks like a little boat going forward, you put that part towards the rim, not the flat side. Not the flat side. That's not the side towards the rim. So towards the car. This is the side towards the car. That's what seats the lug nuts in the rim. Again, all levels are watching these videos, guys. So don't be rolling your eyes at people. They need to know this stuff. Man, 8 years ago it was a lot easier getting off the floor. All right. Everything's on. Bringing her down. Tighten up the lugs. Put on the one cap that the car has. And we're going to test drive her. See what happens. I'm not very optimistic about this piston. I've never done it this way before. Normally I would just like, change it out. But not in these days. Here we go. Wheels on, everything's torqued up, everything's been lubed up, I hope. So the test drive will be tomorrow, guys, and we'll see what we got, what the next steps are with the 2000 Mustang Coupe V6 manual. I never worked on V6s before, and here it is. All right, appreciate you watching, Mustang Medic, and we'll see you tomorrow.